Good morning, children. Welcome to the science class. So, in the last class, we were studying about the skeletal system. So, now we'll move on to the next topic, that is the sense organs. We know that the human beings can smell, see, hear, taste, and feel because of the five sense organs present in our body, and these sense organs, they collect the information and send it to the brain for processing. And if any one of them is not working properly, children, we would not be able to either smell, see, hear, taste, or feel, depending on the sense organ. So now we'll move on to the first sense organ present in our present in our body, that is the human eye. So as you all know that human eye, where it is present, children, each eyeball, it is placed in the bony socket in the skull, and it is been well protected by the bony skeleton in the skull, and these eyes are being protected by the eyelids and eyelashes. Okay, and these eyelids and eyelashes, they protect our eyes from the dust and the dirt. Yes. So now when move on to the structure of the eye, we'll move on. When we move on to the first structure, the part of the eye, here you can observe the sclera. It is the white visible portion. The white visible portion present in the eye, it is called as the sclera, children, and it protects the inner parts. So now the next part present in the eye is the cornea, and it is the transparent front part of our eye. The front part of the eye is called as cornea, and it covers the pupil and the iris. And what is the function of the cornea? To refract the light. Okay. So now the next part is the iris, children, and iris, it is pigmented. Pigmented means it is colored portion. The color of the iris varies from one person to another person, and as it is the colored portion of the eye, it is visible. We are able to see the iris externally. It is visible externally. And what is the function of the iris? It controls the diameter of the pupil. So where is the pupil? Pupil, it is a small aperture. Okay, it is present in the center of the iris, and it what is the function of the pupil? It allows the light to enter and focus on the retina. So what is retina, children? Retina is a, we can also call it as a screen. Okay, where the image of the object falls on the retina, and retina, it is in the it is the innermost layer of the eye, and it is light sensitive and acts as a film of a camera. Okay, the eye acts like a camera, and it is the film of a camera. Understood? So now here you can observe the lens, children, and this lens, it is transparent biconvex lens, and this lens is attached. This lens is attached by the ciliary muscles. Okay, ciliary muscles by the ligaments, and the lens along with the cornea, what is the function? It refracts the light so that it focuses the image of the object focuses on the retina. Understood? So the last part of the eye, you can observe the optic nerve. So optic nerve, it is where it is present? It is located at the posterior portion of the eye. So the optic nerve carries all the messages in the form of nerve impulses from the retina to the human brain. Understood? So now here you can observe that when we look towards the parts of the eye, okay, here you have to just look towards the iris and the pupil, children. Here you can observe that the dark structure present, the colored structure present in front of the eyeball, it is the iris, and the small round black spot in its center of the iris is called the pupil. So now the pupil, it allows the light to enter the eye. Understood? So now the iris, I told you that it helps in the control of the diameter of the pupil. Yes, it controls the diameter of the pupil. So now in the bright light, what happens? So when you are in the bright light, children, the iris it relaxes. That means as it relaxes, what happens? The size of the pupil decreases. The size of the pupil decreases. As the size of the pupil decreases, what happens? The amount of light, okay, the amount of light entering through the pupil is being reduced. The amount of light entering into the pupil is being reduced. Understood? So the next, when you are in the dim light, what happens? The iris it contracts. The iris contracts. As the iris contracts, what happens? The size of the pupil again it increases. So when the size of the pupil increases, what happens? Then the maximum amount of light will can enter into the eye. Understood? So from this, what we came to know that, okay, in the bright light and in the dim light, the iris control it. What it does? It controls the diameter of the pupil, children. Understood? So now, as the image, as we see the object in front of us, the image of that object falls on the retina, and as it falls on the retina, what happens? The retina is being connected to the optic nerve. Optic nerve, it is a sensory nerve, and this sensory nerve it carries the message in the form of nerve impulse. Okay, it carries the signals from the eye in the form of nerve impulse to the brain, and the brain sends the command message to which it interprets them, yes, to form a visual image. So then we can observe the whatever the object is in front of our eye. Understood? So in this way, the human eye it works, children. You will be learning it in detail in the higher classes. So now, as you know that in the chameleon you can observe that the two eyes of the chameleon it moves independently. So the chameleon can see in two different directions at the same time. It can see in two different directions. Okay, children. So now we'll move on to the next sense organ, the human ear. So now when we as we know that the function of the ear is it helps us to hear. Okay, it helps us to hear the sound. Yes, it helps us to hear and we are able to identify whether it is a pleasant sound or an unpleasant sound, and the sound which is in the form of waves. Okay, children. So now when we move on to the ear, here you can observe that human ear is being divided into three parts: the outer ear, the middle ear, and the inner ear. So the portion of the ear that is visible to us, it is the external ear, or external ear is also called as the outer ear. So the external ear, the shape and size, okay, it varies from in different animals, in human beings, in animals, it varies from one organism to another organism. Understood? So now when we take up the outer ear, children, the outer ear, what it does, it only directs the sound waves. So the sound waves enters the ear through the outer ear and in the form of waves to the inner ear through the middle ear. So in the middle ear, what happens? In the middle ear you can observe the eardrum is present. Here you can observe the eardrum is present, and this eardrum is connected to the three small bones, and these three small bones are called as stapes. In the picture it is given stapes. Stapes is also called as the stirrup bone. As you all learnt in the last class, the smallest bone present in the body is a stirrup bone, and these small bones, three small bones, where they are present in the middle ear. And the eardrum and the small bones, they convey the vibrations of the sound. Okay, from the eardrum it passes to the inner ear. It passes through the inner ear. You can it passes to the inner ear, and this inner ear help us to hear and maintain the balance of our body. And here you can yes, and this, from this we are able to hear. Understood? And here you can observe the auditory nerve. Okay, so this nerve, it carries the message to the brain, and brain sends the message whether the sound which we are able to which we are okay, yeah, we are hearing, okay, from which direction the sound is being visible, is being heard, and whether it is a pleasant or unpleasant sound. So now we'll move on to the next organ. The next organ is the tongue, children. As you know that the tongue is the most sensitive part, and it is the, you have learnt already in the last class that the tongue, it has the different taste buds present on the tongue, and these taste buds which are sensitive to 4 different tastes. It is the sweet, sour, salty and bitter. Understood? So human tongue, it is having 10,000 taste buds, children. Understood? So these taste buds, through the these are being attached to the sensory nerves, and these sensory nerves are being connected to the brain, and the brain sends whatever the food we keep on the tongue. These taste buds, they identify whether it is sweet, sour, salty and bitter, and the message is sent by the brain to the taste buds, and okay, and we'll come to know whether it is sweet, sour or salty. Yes. So now we'll move on to the next organ. Sense organ is the nose, children. As you all know that the nose helps us to smell. The nose helps us to smell. So here in the nose we can observe the nerve endings, and here you can observe the olfactory nerve is present, the olfactory bulb nerve bundles. So these nerves, what they do, children, they carry the message. Okay, whatever the fragrance you are getting, we are okay in the atmosphere, it is being taken up by the nerves. These nerve endings, they, yes, and they through the it enters the nose. Yes, through these nerve endings, they sense the fragrance, the whether it is a pleasant smell or unpleasant smell. Yes, and it sends, and these are being sent to the brain, and the brain sends the messages whether it is, and we are able to smell the different substances. So whatever your mother is cooking in the kitchen, you are able to smell. Sitting in the hall, you will be sitting in the hall, and you will come to know which type of food is being cooked in the kitchen. Understood? With the help of these nerve endings which are present in our nose, children. Understood? So now we will move on to the next organ. The next organ is the human skin. And as you know that the skin, it forms a natural protective covering of the entire body. So our whole body is being covered by the skin, children, and as it is being covered, we can call it as the largest sense organ. It is the largest sense organ present in our body. Understood? And this skin, it helps us to feel. The pain, it helps us to feel the touch. When we touch the objects, whether it is rough or whether it is soft or smooth, we are able to feel the touch, we are able to feel the pressure, we are able to whether when we touch the objects, whether it is hot or cold, we are able to feel. So in the skin, we can observe that sensory nerves are present. These nerves, as we touch any object, these nerves, they send the message to the brain, and from the brain we get the message in a fraction of second. We'll come to know that, yes, whether the object is hot or cold. Understood? So when you touch a hot pan in the kitchen, you just immediately you will remove your hand from the hot pan. That means it is very hot. Understood? So it takes place through the help of the nerves present in our the sensory nerves. Understood? So with the help of this we are able to feel. Understood? The objects present around us. So now we'll move on we have looked the five sense organs, their structure, their functions. So now when we see all the five structures, yes, here you can observe in the center of the picture you can observe the brain, children. So here this brain, in the brain you can observe the touch, the taste, sight, sound, smell. So all these are being okay, we are able to identify with we are able to these sense organs help us to smell, help us to taste, help us to touch, help us to sight, help us to hear the sound. Okay, through the sensory nerves, through the sensory nerves that are present in the sense organs. These sensory nerves, they send the message to the brain, and from the brain we are getting the message in the form. Okay, motor nerves carries the message from the brain to the different sense organs, and we are able to identify, we are able to sense the things in the form of smell, sound, taste, sight and touch, children. Okay, so this completes the sense organs. We'll move on to the next topic in the next class. So I'll meet you in the next class, children. Thank you.